know that home prices have been rising fairly rapidly for the past several years. And to be honest with you, apart from a minor slowdown blip in March and April due to the pandemic, the real estate market this year has been absolutely on fire. And it has continued that pace. And we are actually going to surpass the sales numbers that we saw in 2019. Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team at eXp Realty. And quite often when we talk about home prices and home price appreciation, we relate that to affordability on the buy side of the transaction. But today, I want to touch on what rising home prices actually means for sellers. And as home prices go up, a seller's equity goes up. And when a homeowner has more equity, it gives them options, especially in today's market and with the uncertainty that some homeowners face. So let's touch at that or touch on that aspect first. So first off, of all U.S. homeowners right now, 63% of all properties have a mortgage on them. Okay, they have seen their equity increase $620 billion since the second quarter of 2019. That's an increase of over 6.6% year over year. Why do I bring that up? Well, there's been a lot of talk about mortgage forbearances and people that have lost their job and been unemployed as a result. Some have forecast or predicted that that's going to lead to a meltdown in the housing market. Right now, we're not seeing any indication of that whatsoever, and almost all of the experts out there aren't seeing it. Do we think home price appreciation will slow? Yes, but it doesn't mean that we're going to see some catastrophic drop. Many of the people that forecast that jump to the conclusion that the increase in mortgage forbearances would therefore lead to an increase in foreclosures. But let's not forget, there's a couple of things that need to happen for a foreclosure to take place. And the one I'm going to focus on today is when a home gets foreclosed on, you have a homeowner that can no longer afford the payment. They fall behind on the payment, and therefore they don't really have any options. They can't keep the house. Okay? Back when the market crashed, the only choice was to give the house back to the bank, do a deed in lieu, have the house actually be foreclosed on by the bank, or do a short sale. A short sale was done because there was no equity in the home. It meant that the bank had to accept less than the current outstanding mortgage balance and release that homeowner from the remaining obligation. When we look at the rising or the rise that has taken place in home prices, that means that the equity that people have is substantially higher. There's a huge portion of homeowners currently that are sitting on in excess of 20% equity in their home. So let me ask you this, just pose the question. If you were somebody that lost your job, you can't get the assistance that you need, right? You can't afford the mortgage, you're falling further and further behind, and you're not able to work something out with the lender, why would you let that house be foreclosed on? Why would you not just put it up for sale? The market right now is very, very low on inventory, which is one of the things that has fueled the price growth. So if we're low on inventory, most homes around the country right now, depending on price point, are selling in less than 30 days. Why not put the house up for sale, go ahead and sell it, pay off the mortgage, put money in your pocket and start again? I'm not saying that's an ideal situation. It's not, but it's better than the alternative of just giving the house back to the bank and leaving all that money on the table. That doesn't make any sense. So that's why I don't think there's going to be a wave of foreclosures as some have predicted. But the second thing is, if we look at all the rest of the homeowners, the increase in equity, what does that actually mean for you as a seller? Well, it does give you some options on what it is that you might want to do. So for instance, if you have been considering some home improvements, maybe you want to put a pool in, maybe redo your kitchen or redo a bathroom, chances are you've got enough equity in your property that you could do a home equity loan And with that home equity loan, you could take that money out and invest the money back into your property by updating it, by redoing those items that we just talked about, whether it be new flooring, a new kitchen, new countertops, new bathrooms. That's only going to help increase the value of your home even more. Another option, as homeowners continue to gain equity in their homes, they're more likely to consider making a move. So let's say you've been living in your home for X number of years and you've always wanted somewhere a bit bigger, someone with larger land, or someone with more land, larger home, maybe something with a beautiful outdoor kitchen or a pool, something along those lines. You don't want to put any more money into your existing home. The equity that you have helps make that dream of moving into your next home more attainable. You couple that with record low mortgage rates, and you probably will find that you can afford more than you thought was possible not that long ago. So in the description below this video, I've actually put a link to a tool that I have available on my website that allows you to check what the current equity in your property is, along with keep up to date on what some of the market activity is in your area. So check the description directly below and go ahead and sign that up for yourself if you'd like. It's completely free. There's no obligation whatsoever. So again, while rising home prices, we often look at on the buy side and what that does to affordability. It's important to remember that it does have some impacts on the sell side as well, and could open up some opportunities and options to you that you didn't know you had. So hopefully you find that interesting and it helps. If you did, please feel free to click that like button and subscribe to this channel. I put out new content all the time, and you'll be alerted whenever something new comes out. I'd really appreciate it. Until next week, take care.